Greetings, welcome back to Little Discovery Corner. Today I decided to prepare some more free channeled art and words and just doodles in general. So we'll start with this one. I grabbed a marker at random with my eyes closed, and today I picked purple. So purple is like, I kept picking more of a reddish color the first couple of times, and purple is a bit more somber. You might have your mood like more fiery in the past, more earthly drives, more perhaps carnal drives that might have cooled quite a bit, and since then. And purple is also the color of the crown chakra, which is spirituality. So you might be discovering, like, getting more into touch with your intuition, connecting with your higher self more, which is always a good thing. It's part of the journey. So I started here. I got this curly Q. It kind of made me think Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz, when they start at the beginning of the yellow brick road. It starts at this curly Q, and they just kind of go around and around until finally it straightens out. But then, it straightens out and I get all these squiggly. It's very, very jagged, very, very kind of frazzled and jarring. So that might explain something you've been experiencing lately, a frazzled, jarring, anxious state. As you kind of confront it's a situation that has ended, or opening yourself up to your intuition and your higher self and spirituality. It's a jarring experience, and I can attest to this because your ego is fighting against your inner voice, your inner self, doing that, accomplishing that, connecting to your higher self so you can live in good conscience, make all your decisions in good conscience. And if you're used to just living impulsively, living in a place of vices, whether that's drugs and alcohol, or like just shopping, any kind of addiction, any kind of habits, or it's like just completely in the earthly realm, the earthly pleasures, like over out of balance in earthly living, and stuck in that earthly living and impulses. And then get a lot of this. And this made me think of a video I once saw on how croissants are made. It's like you flattened it out, you got the dough, the butter and all that, and it gets all flattened out and folded on each other and smushed again, flattened out, added butter, folded in, smushed again. So it's like going through layers of, say, maybe your past, getting through layers of your emotions, exploring layers of why you think the way you think, why you act the way you act, maybe habits that haven't been serving you, maybe habits that have been self-sabotaging or inflicting harm that you didn't realize you were inflicting on others. And so that's what I'm getting. This is your journey at the moment. I hope this makes sense for somebody. This is kind of specific, so this might not be for everybody. So I did some channeled words. Ratchet. I don't know if I'm meant to just say ratchet or wretchedly ratcheted down. Maybe that's how you feel. By wickedness, maybe wicked, like I said, vices, bad habits, old crowd. So that might be something you're trying to break out of, right? Fix what's broken, right? Fix what's broken within. You might be realizing that something's not working. You've been you've been carrying on in life in ways that are actually not that healthy. Perhaps, like I said, as I mentioned, vices, addictions can be anything. As I said, from drugs to just shopping. anything you're overdoing. It's the therapist Gabor Mate says, when you're overdoing something like that, you're trying to pacify an unmet need. Usually it stems all the way back to childhood, and that's something I've had to discover about myself, right? And fix, like dig deep, recent past, deep past, to see what I hadn't processed, what wounds I hadn't processed within. Understand what your destiny was supposed to be. Illusions, veil, cloud, mist, fakery, understanding. Yeah, this ties in again. Like if you were living in, an unbalanced, overly focused on earthly living, like tipped earthly living, spirituality, right? Earthly living was out of balance, maybe, and not enough spirituality to balance yourself out. You might be, the veil of that might be the clouds, the fog of that might be starting to clear as certain things have happened. You've come to certain realizations. Some things are just not real, right? You're starting to see what's all an illusion, right? And that's something I've been through also. And that's all part of the journey. So, I wrote down bushes and bunches, watching, awaiting, and it kind of made me think of like an ambush, like when you're walking, you're on a mission, like say you're a military unit walking through the woods on a reconnaissance mission maybe, and you got to be wary for enemies hiding in the bushes about to ambush you, and that kind of ties in with illusions. Fakery, fixed with broken. You might be facing, running, follow. You might be facing what you always accepted as just status quo. That's just how life works. That's just conventional wisdom. That might have been your operating mode. You never really questioned the culture you were living in, whether it's down to the family level or broader culture. And you're starting to see who doesn't have your best interests in mind, who's maybe like kind of swaying you to be self-sabotaging, give more than you're getting from them, take more from others that you're giving in return, that sort of thing. You're starting to see things. Light. You see light's getting shed on things. You just understand. Yeah, understand came up a couple times. Knowledge. Sunk cost. Oh, okay, so some of you might be reluctant to leave things behind, let go of things, let go of patterns, connections, because I've just been invested in this for so long. I spent like X many years with this person or just living this way, and I don't know if I can change. It's sunk cost syndrome. It's like you're unwilling to get rid of this old car. You've spent like thousands of dollars to maintain, but it still don't work right. It's still not great. It's just a burden to keep around, but you keep it around anyway just because you've already put so much money into it. That's sunk cost syndrome, and trust me, I've been through that many times. If you let it go, you'll probably find that you just took a big burden off your shoulders, and you feel lighter and happier and in a new space, ready for new things. Yeah, sunk cost history. Fluid. Yeah, your destiny is fluid. Remember that. Keep walking the path. Keep moving forward. All right, so it's starting to get a bit long. This is the last thing. My colored pencils. So in my head, I had sort of an evil eye amulet. It's like a black with the white to look like an eyeball and the blue around it. But I picked three, as with the markers, I picked 3 pencils. at random in a row with my eyes closed. And I started with green. Then I got purple, and then this is a brown color, but it comes out more reddish. So green is for, if you analyze the color symbology, green is heart, your heart space. And I've mentioned this before. What do you want deep down? What is your heart of heart? Your heart of hearts want for yourself deep down, right? And purple is spirituality. So like if you think of your higher self, your conscience, and connect that to your heart space. As Jiminy Cricket said, let your conscience be your guide, right? You don't even have to be spiritual. Like if you're an agnostic or an atheist, you're not sure if you believe in a higher power, you don't feel like you believe in a higher power, but if you believe in acting in good conscience, that counts to me. That counts. And so, and at the edges is the red, right? The more base earthly pleasures. Like, I think this is about keeping things in balance with a heart-led life at your center, balanced in earthly pleasures, like earthly concerns, balanced out with your higher self. Okay, I think I'll leave it there for today. I hope this resonated for somebody out there. I'll see you next time.